a community of diverse cultural, racial, and class backgrounds, a community of varied abilities and gifts. Some here find inspiration in the great books, others in the great outdoors, and others still in great conversations. Whoever you may be, all are welcome in our inclusive congregation. To newcomers and old friends alike, together we say, welcome. And in case you're wondering about the great books, great outdoors, great conversations, we have great books in the library, we have a great outdoors in our fantastic garden outside, and we'll have great conversations around the coffee pot afterward. So at Westside, we are raising the next generation of Unitarian Universalists, and we want them to know that they are an important part of our community. Several years ago, we chose to be radically inclusive and to adopt a multi-generational worship, where our services include all family members, so welcome to all children and youth of all ages. Now, there are a number of announcements included in your order of service. Feel free to take them with you in case you need any reminders this week or to share with any others. So one of the ones that we always have in there is the list of upcoming services, which is in here. Oh, here it is, this one. We have some really cool services coming up. Feel free to take a look at those. And for anyone joining us online or visiting with us today, if you're not already on our mailing list, please sign up by clicking the link at the bottom of our homepage at the westsideu.org website. And for those of you who are here in person with us, please take a moment to silence any devices. Another really important announcement while you're silencing devices is the congregational meeting coming up in 2 weeks, May the 5th. And if you're going to want lunch, you can feel free to order lunch on one of these blue sheets. I believe these blue sheets are due Wednesday, May 1st. So got a little bit of time. Not a ton of time, a little bit of time. And yeah, very important stuff. If you're a brand new person here today, you don't have to come to the congregational meeting if you don't want to. You're welcome to. But for those members and old friends and stuff, make sure that's on your calendar. It's a lot earlier this year than most years, so May the 5th for that. So tomorrow, speaking of things coming up, is Earth Day for the year 2024. So you may notice a kind of a theme to the music readings and reflections today. And speaking of the reflection today, we're going to be getting that from the Welman Project. It's a Fort Worth nonprofit providing free supplies for teachers and creative reuse for the community. Through creative repurposing of surplus business waste, they give teachers the tools and support they need to provide vital hands-on learning opportunities to every student. The Welman Project serves as a free resource for teachers, distributing surplus materials from local companies for creative reuse in the classroom and beyond, along with making creativity accessible to the whole community through a creative reuse storefront and workshops in an on-site makerspace. Westside is happy to know that this wonderful organization has been a recipient of our offertory in the past. And today we'll be specifically welcoming Maddie Martin, the Makerspace Mastermind, and Lauren Watson, the Community Engagement Enthusiast, which is great, but also really makes me want to make sure I get the word mastermind in my next job title. Yes. So now I invite you to take a deep breath. And from wherever you are, settle into this sacred space that we create, and let us worship together as we listen to this morning's prelude, The Earth is Our Mother, performed by Rocio, Jonathan, and Sofia Ayala Sarmiento.
The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, young, aho, young, hey, young, young. Hey, young, aho, young, hey, young, young. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Hey, young, aho, young, hey, young, young. Hey, young, aho, young, hey, young, young. sky is our Father, we will take care of him. Hey, yanga ho, yang. Hey, yanga ho, yanga, hey, yang.
Our opening words today are Renewal in a Weary World by the Reverend Sherry Woodbury, one of Westside's previous settled ministers. You can actually see her photo on the back wall in the library area there. Welcome, all who seek renewal in a weary world. Welcome all who come with love and energy to share. Welcome to those who worry for the future. Welcome each one who is grateful for today. Know that in this place, you are not alone. In community, we share our strength with one another, and we keep the flame of love burning bright. Know that in this place, responsibility is shared. Here, tradition holds us. Ancestors shine a light from the past. Here, the young lift their bright faces and beckon us onward. Take my hand, and we can go on together. And as do many Unitarian Universalist congregations, we will begin our time together this morning with the lighting of a chalice. The chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith and represents the Unitarian Universalist Association, or UUA. The flaming chalice symbolizes the heritage of our past, the warmth of community, and the light of hope within this church today. And I know we're officially done with the sort of flame on stewardship campaign. And I did want to just say, even though we're technically done with it, we've done much higher than last year's campaign, which is fantastic, but we haven't quite hit all of our goals. So if you haven't gotten yours turned in just yet, you can hand it in, no questions asked. No one's going to give you a hassle for it being late. And if you were inspired by our Minister Emeritus and current part-time minister, Russell Elevin, last week to maybe, I don't know, up your stewardship just a little bit, that's great. You can still contact the stewardship campaign about it, and we have that on another one of our sheets here, right here in the thing. And the chalice lighting words are, as surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home, here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other. And our opening hymn will be in the gray hymnal, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. Please stand as able and join our song leader, Darren Cote. And please remain standing and join me in our affirmation, printed in your order of service and on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to work for justice through action, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. You may be seated. Now, for those of you that would like to come forward, if you're young or just young at heart, or if you'd just like to have a more close-up view of our Time for All Ages, feel free to come forward. It will be presented today by our outstanding Director of Lifespan Religious Education, Nikki Kennedy. And when we're through, we will sing the kids back with number 414 as we leave this friendly place. You can tell these kids know what they're doing because they're just up here getting the pillows ready to go.
Good morning. I was a little slow to get up here today. I'm so sorry. Hi. How are you guys this morning? Wait a second. How are you guys this morning? I'm sorry. It is a beautiful day. It is not raining 3+ inches. The sun is out. We're together. How are you guys doing this morning? Whoa, that was definitely a lot of energy. Thank you guys. I am so happy to see you guys this morning. You know, yesterday's rain was a lot. How many of you jumped in puddles of water? I did. Nobody else but me and Sarah jumped in water? Tal did. My new friend Maddie did. Tanner did. Okay. My mercy. You do not like rain? Well, have you ever heard the phrase, April showers bring May flowers? Yeah. So, in theory, we get a lot of rain in April so that we can have flowers in May. But I would say we already have some flowers outside. I've seen some beautiful flowers. How many of you have flowers in your yard? Maybe they're wheat flowers or maybe they're intentional flowers. You have a flower garden? Does anybody else have flowers? I have irises. Miss Jana does. I see Glinda. Tal does. Carol does. Look at all these hands. Diane, you do, Sarah? Thank you. So we have some people that have been working really hard on our church garden. And our church garden is similar to gardens that you have at your house. What are things that we need to make things grow? Do you guys know what we need to make things grow? Tau and then compost and soil. What else, Sarah?
I was going to say water.
Water. What else? Sunlight. What else do we need? So we've said water and soil and compost. Sunlight. Seeds. Yes, ma'am. Air. Yes, oxygen, air. Somebody said something over there I couldn't hear. Manure. So manure is good. Do you know what manure is? What is manure? What is manure? Tal, what is manure? It is poop. That's right. That's right. So speaking of poop, I have a cup of dirt from our garden. And you know, the thing about this dirt is it's really important. And this isn't just dirt. This also has some compost and other things mixed up in it. But here's the deal. Dirt automatically has poop in it, right? Because animals live in it. Creatures live in it. Bugs live in it. So dirt is really important, but it's also important to wash our hands after we play in it. Have you ever heard, yes, Amelia, do you have a question?
We don't just get honey from bees. If we didn't have bees, we wouldn't have flowers because bees bloom the flowers, the pollen.
That's right. So Amelia's talking about bees, and she says if we wouldn't have bees, we wouldn't have flowers, and that bees are very important. That's true. That's also part of it. Back to dirt. So, have any of you ever played outside and your parents said you got really dirty? Have any of you ever made mud pies? Let me see a show of hands. Who made mud pies when they were a kid? Yeah? Who likes to dig in the dirt after it's been raining to pick all the weeds? That's not as many hands as I thought I'd see. Well, sometimes dirt has a smell. I'm not sure if my sniffer's broken. Oh, this does have a dirt smell. I smelt it that time. It has a little bit of an organic smell to it. This morning, some of you were in the fellowship hall, and we had our new friend Pete come from Cowboy Compost, and he talked to us about composting. And if you guys missed that presentation, I will say it was really cool, and we learned some about composting and what's available to us and why composting is important. But back to dirt. So I think Earth Day is tomorrow. And we are going to celebrate Earth Day in a lot of ways. We already do a lot in our congregation. You know, some people think these cups are plastic, but they're actually not plastic at all. These are actually compostable. So this cup has dirt in it. I can literally go put this in our composting bin right now. Everything we have here is compostable. All of our flatware, all of our dishes, all of our cups, our coffee cups, everything is compostable. And that compost mixed with dirt is what helps things grow. And being tomorrow is Earth Day, I thought today we could celebrate the dirt and the compost and all that is that we need to make things grow. And I wonder what you guys are going to grow this week in honor of Earth Day. I wonder what you guys are going to grow. I want you to think about it and let me know next week what kind of things you grow in honor of Earth Day. Thanks for being here today and have a great week, you guys.
So I'm going to hand it over to the pastoral team for our joys and concerns, but I did want to follow up on something Nikki mentioned. She said that April showers bring May flowers. Does anybody know what May flowers bring? Pilgrims.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm your pastoral care associate this morning. My name is Debbie Rake. In our community here at Westside, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Submit your joys and concerns to the team by completing one of these forms that are located at the welcome desk right out here, or emailing us at pastoralcare@westsideu.org, or contact me, John Fisher, Barbara Crotty, Jane Hardwick, Brenda McCune, and I'm leaving somebody out. Ooh, oh, okay, or anyone you see who might care about you. Okay. Okay. We share our concerns with one another today, knowing that sorrows come into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. This is both a joy and concern. It's from Joyce Beck. she called Linda in the office to share with her this news. First of all, her husband, Bob, they were married for 57 years, and he passed away at the beginning of April. He'd been diagnosed with a cancer and was doing well with treatment, and then unexpectedly took a downhill turn and was gone quickly. She and her daughter were with him when he passed away. They had sold their condo in Santa Fe and were in the process of moving to North Carolina to be near their daughter. They have purchased a home in a senior living community and were slowly moving things out there. Joyce is back in town now working with Settling Bob's estate and continuing to prepare for the final move to North Carolina. She and her daughter will be back on Wednesday afternoon to assist with this. She didn't give a target date for when the final move would occur. Joyce is a longtime member of Westside, and she had so many lovely comments to say about Westside and the friendships that she had had with us. Okay, so we will miss her. Second is from Diane and Eric. It's a concern. Our dog, Marie, passed away this week. She was 15 and a half years old, and we miss her every moment. And finally, Gwen Genius just learned that her 17-year-old grandson was hit by a random bullet while running this morning in New Orleans. He has been care flighted to the hospital. More news when it is available. We share our joys with one another, knowing too that joy comes into all our lives, knowing, that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. And I did not have any straight joys. Okay. We make space each week for musical centering, knowing that the life and experience of every person matters, and together our lights shine brighter. As we hold all the joys and concerns among us, both those spoken and unspoken, let us sing our centering song, number 1053 in the Teal hymnal, How Could Anyone?
Good morning. My name is Glenda Hood, and I'm a member of the meditation groups here at Westside. Our meditation will begin with an introduction before we move into a minute of silence. Our bell will sound to signal the start of your meditation, prayer, or reflection, and it will sound again at the end. Our meditation reading today is Earth, Teach Me to Remember, a traditional Ute prayer. Earth, teach me the stillness as the grasses are stilled with light. Earth, teach me suffering as old stones suffer with memory. Earth, teach me humility as blossoms are humble with beginning. Earth, teach me caring as the mother who secures her young. Earth, teach me courage as the tree stands alone. Earth, teach me limitation as the ant that crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom as the eagle which soars in the sky. Earth, teach me resignation as the leaves which die in the fall. Earth, teach me regeneration as the seed that rises in the spring. Earth, teach me to forget myself as melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me to remember kindness as dry fields weep in the rain. May we be good company to one another in our questions and our journey. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
And here at Westside, we practice our UU faith in a variety of ways. One of those ways is by giving 100% of the gifts to our weekly collection, unless otherwise designated as your pledge, to support organizations who carry out our transcendent values of compassion, justice, and equality. Our offering this month is Downwinders at Risk. Downwinders at Risk is dedicated to taking effective action on behalf of those being harmed by air pollution. Its goal is to build a stronger grassroots constituency and create new strategies for clean air here in North Texas. It was founded in 1994 and is still led by one of its co-founders, Ed Schirmbeck, born and raised here in Fort Worth. Downwinders is committed to working for environmental justice with communities impacted by the worst pollution. It does this by informing, connecting, and mobilizing citizens to become active participants in the decision-making that affects the air we breathe. Downwinders at Risk has collaborated with the communities in South Dallas to get rid of industrial polluters in their neighborhoods, and last year joined our Fort Worth community, Echo Heights, in efforts to make its neighborhood safe from environmental polluters and to challenge City Hall over the absence of environmental justice in its city planning. Downwinders at Risk wants to bring power and expertise to the city's poorer neighborhoods that have had no say in dirty industries moving in. With that in mind, it has worked to make its board of directors more reflective of those impacted by air pollution. Today, its board is strongly diverse of people of color, women, and multi-generational members. Let's support the environmental justice and strong anti-racist work of this organization, so please give generously to partnership with Downwinders as you are able. Thank you. And you can give through the church's webpage at the Giving tab on the top of our homepage. Just be sure to select the Service Project Fund and add the name of today's designated group, partnership with, Downwinders at Risk, the official name there. You can also give using the Vanco mobile app. which is easily downloaded from the App Store. And you can also just mail us a check at 901 Page Avenue. And we thank you for your offering today. And now please enjoy today's musical offertory, Rocky Mountain High by John Denver, performed by the West Side Band.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him, you might say he was born again. You might say that he found the key to every door. When he first came to the mountains, well, his life was far away on the road and hanging by a song. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, it don't last for long. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, well, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. The shadow of a starlight is softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. He climbed the Cathedral Mountains, he saw the silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as he can see. And they say that he got crazy once and he tried to touch the sun. And he lost a friend but kept the memory. Now he walks in quiet solitude through the forests and the trees, seeking grace in every step he takes. His sight is turned inside himself just to try and understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. The Colorado Rocky Mountain High, well, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Talk to God and listen to the guys who won't reply. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High. Now his life is full of wonder, but his heart still knows some fear of the simple things he cannot comprehend. Why they try to tear the mountains down just to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, but I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. No, he'd be a poor man if he never saw an evil eye. Rocky Mountain High, it's the Colorado Rocky Mountain High. Well, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire, everybody's high. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain
So thank you to the West Side Band, and thank you all for putting into practice the spiritual value of generosity. Our giving connects us to the wider web of our community. And thank you also for keeping your stewardship commitment current to keep our congregation's important work going. And now it is my absolute pleasure to welcome our speakers today, Maddie Martin and Lauren Watson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren. This is my dear friend, Maddie.
Hi.
First of all, it's such a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for inviting us during your Earth Day reflection. We are from the Welman Project. So if you're not familiar, the Welman Project is a Fort Worth-based nonprofit on a mission to fill a classroom, not a landfill. We did bring a slideshow. We have some visuals and some really uplifting photos and numbers, as well as some scary numbers that I will share with you. But the Welman Project exists because we have two main issues in our community. One, our public school educators do not have the resources they need. And secondly, our landfills are filling up at a rapid rate, actually 15 years ahead of schedule. So we've decided to join in on the mission. We are not the co-founders of the mission, but our co-founders decided to tackle both of these issues with one solution: creative reuse. Next slide, please. So in order to tackle this and to use creative reuse, we have three main programs that we use to serve our community and give back to the earth to ensure that those landfills do not fill up, or to provide alternate solutions. One, and the biggest that I want to talk about the most today, is the Free Educator Warehouse. So we do have a warehouse on site. We're right off West Vickery. We're super close. But we collect donations from the community and from surrounding businesses. We did a survey a couple years ago, and we found out that over 90% of teachers say that they're not able to teach a specific lesson because they do not have the resources they need. While at the same time, over 70% of what goes in our landfill can actually be used again. So our Free Educator Warehouse exists to be a solution to both of those issues. We like to target companies because that's where the most of our landfill waste is coming from, is directly from businesses. And then also our community members that want to support our mission. So when you donate your materials to the Welman Project, we ensure that those materials make it into classrooms and become free educator resources. Two of our other programs include a curiosity shop where the entire community can shop. Every dollar spent in the Curiosity Shop equals 10 free dollars for an educator in our Free Educator Warehouse. In our Curiosity Shop, we like to promote the idea of not shopping new. Our Curiosity Shop has a lot of thrifted treasures. We also have creative reuse supplies and highly discounted art supplies so that our community can still participate in those extracurriculars, because creation is important and art is life, and it's not exactly an affordable hobby anymore. So our Curiosity Shop exists for that purpose. And then we also have a makerspace, which Maddie is one of the stars of. So we actually have a makerspace on site. We like to say that the Welman Project is about more than just stuff. We don't just want to load an educator's car full of materials and wish them luck. We actually have a makerspace in our building with sewing machines and 3D printers, hardware, saws, so that when they're able to find those raw materials in the Free Educator Warehouse, they can tap Maddie on the shoulder and be like, hey, how do I transform this 2x4 into what I actually need? A lot of the things that we receive are not going to be your traditional school supply, so it's our jobs to come up with creative alternatives to turn those raw materials into exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, more than ever, we're seeing that educators are being met, like they're kind of at, like our government, our state government is at war with educators right now, I would say. Educators more than ever need our support, need our resources, and don't just need stuff. Yes, there's always going to be stuff is everywhere, but they just need us to be somebody that they can vent to, that they can express their frustrations, their fears, what's going on with them on a daily basis, because they're not valued by our system. They're not valued by their profession. They're really not valued by a lot of the parents of the kids that they're serving. And so, you know, just like if we're there to provide a hand, like a hug or a high five or just like a beer, like after they had a stressful day at work, like we'll do it all at the Welman Project. So, you know, that's what teachers really come back for, is knowing I'm valued, I'm supported, not just by these people, but by the entire community. So when you support us, you're supporting our entire community. it's just like really amazing the impact that we see every day, because these educators really feel a major difference by just knowing that their community and us, we support them.
Can I get the next slide, please? So here's just some uplifting examples. We say fill a classroom, not a landfill, and we kind of just want to show what we mean by that. So on the left, you have some examples of an actual creative reuse project. So I know it's kind of small, but in this top left corner, it's just one of those old printer trays that like you hang on your wall and put your knickknacks in. One of our educators took one of those, and then all the small items in there are to teach sight words. So Susan Titus always checks our misfit toy bin for her reading lessons. A treasure magically appears each day to fill sound boxes as her class learns new letter groups, pairs, and patterns that help build strong reading muscles. So as opposed to paying for a brand new curriculum and workbooks that are going to teach you the same lessons, we're combining the concept of creative reuse and bringing back that tactile learning. The students are bored of Chromebooks, and so are the teachers. So not only are we keeping these things out of the landfill, but we're applying those lessons in real time. On the left, something that I also want to talk about, the Welman Project, we're also about advocacy. So something that's really exciting that our co-founders were actually able to do is Fort Worth had a policy where tax-funded materials, they either had to be stored if they're no longer in use, or they need to be destroyed. Something our co-founders were actually able to do was lobby the city and help pass a policy that a new way that tax-funded materials can be disposed of is by being donated to an education-based nonprofit. So when the Fort Worth City Hall did a clean out and they're in a new space, we were actually able to take all of that old furniture and redistribute it to public educators through our organization. The Fort Worth Library that just closed in downtown, that building was sold. The majority of that media, the periodicals, the DVDs, the books, came through our warehouse to be redistributed to public schools and other nonprofits. As opposed to a few years ago, it would have been legally mandated that they would have had to either store that indefinitely or throw it away, which is such a waste. So that's such an incredible and exciting thing that our co-founders were able to advocate for and actually change.
That's so cool, I did not know that.
It's amazing, it's so cool. And so actually this on the left, we have a photo of two teachers picking up stuff from downtown. So 86 schools and 17 nonprofits benefited from the clean out of Fort Worth City Hall, receiving almost $140,000 worth of furniture. Now, I don't think it's a secret that teachers have to provide a lot of the things in the classroom are paid with their own money. So we have teachers looking for storage solutions, bookshelves, rolling desk chairs. So the fact that all of this was in a city hall, and it's probably still in great condition, it's exciting that was able to come back into a schoolroom. And then on the right, we just have some exciting numbers of dumpsters that we were actually able to keep out of the landfill. All these numbers are from 2023, so stay tuned for 2024 numbers. But in 2023, we were able to keep 187 dumpsters worth of material out of the landfill. $2.3 million worth of supplies were distributed to schools, and 138 companies reduced their waste by donating. And like I mentioned, those companies, that's where our landfill is being filled up by the most. So if we can encourage large organizations and businesses and companies in Fort Worth to donate to us instead, as opposed to getting a tax deduction for throwing things away, that's incredible. And then everyone's learning at the same time. Can I get the next slide, please? So this goes back to exactly what Maddie was saying. In order for our youth to stay inspired, we have to keep the teachers inspired and supported. So a couple of these quotes come directly from our educators. I absolutely love this place. Everyone is so friendly and helpful. I leave knowing there are people in the world who care deeply about me and the students in my class. It's unbelievable how a student can feel when they arrive to the classroom and they don't have the same supplies that everyone else has. That's a negative impact that we're trying to fight. So another one says, thank you for providing us the resources to help grow our students. It takes the pressure off and lets us focus on what really matters, which is so important because teacher turnover rate is through the roof. It's going really poorly. So as long as we can provide that support to our educators, like Maddie mentioned, then they'll stay in the classroom longer. They'll become veteran teachers, and they're able to continue to inspire the future that are going to, make sure we remain sustainable. Nikki made a great point talking about the youth at Westside Unitarian and how they're excited to make everything compostable. They're excited for sustainability. They know we're not in good shape, and they're excited to change that. And so as long as we can keep our teachers excited, our youth will stay on fire, and they will keep that change going. Can I get the next slide, please? So a little bit of history. I like talking about supporting our educators because these are our two co-founders, Taylor and Vanessa. They're still in the building every day. As an organization, we've only existed for, I think it's going to be our 9th birthday in November. So our two co-founders are in the building every day, our executive director and creative director. But they met when they were children, and this teacher on the right is Mr. Sills. He was their 7th grade eco club teacher. So the fact that these two co-founders were inspired by a 7th grade teacher and then went on to found a nonprofit that's helping fill a classroom, not a landfill, just goes to show that we need to keep our teachers supported because they're planting the seeds that will grow into a nonprofit later. A little bit of background. Vanessa used to work, she was an assistant to New York Fashion Week while also teaching on the side. So that's kind of where the concept of the Welman Project came from. At the end of a show, when you strike a show, you have a ton of leftover material. And then at the same time, she drew on her experience from being a preschool teacher and not having what she needed. So when you can take the things that you don't need and give it where it needs to be needed, think of how far that can grow. So this picture in the right corner is actually the very first material donation that they did in New York. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And now we have an incredible building with a makerspace and a shop and a warehouse. Maddie, I think I rambled a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah, so I really feel like the history of the Welman Project really, like everybody has a teacher. Everybody at some point has had some teacher, and that teacher has inspired you, has changed your life, and made you want to pursue something, has left you with a dream. And so, even if that dream is just to live and to live a full life, right? And so I think that's something that Taylor and Vanessa really inspired in the community is that will to continue to keep going, and that's what teachers come in. We give teachers that rejuvenation, that energy to keep going, because they're really tired, y'all. They really look around and they don't feel encouraged by their situation. They don't feel supported by their community. And so it takes us, right? Like we have to advocate for them, like we're saying. Like we have to go and do the public advocacy and say, hey, say no to vouchers. That's something that we as a nonprofit, we can actually do issue-based advocacy. So say no to vouchers. Vouchers are, I really feel like we're nearing the end of public education. Public education is being really targeted right now in politics. And so it's something that is unfortunately affecting our children the most. And so I'm Ute, which is really cool that y'all read a Ute poem earlier. So I'm Nuche Southern Ute and Inde Apache. And something that we always talk about is that the earth does not belong to us. It belongs to not our next generation, not the next generation, but actually the next 7 generations. And so we have to make sure it is our job, our responsibility in our lifetime at this time to make sure that we leave the next 7 generations a place that is hospitable to them, that they have the resources, more resources than we have now. And so that is a duty, a promise that we have to those next 7 generations. And so part of that is supporting our educators, supporting the ones who are leading the youth and inspiring the youth. And another part of that is taking care of our mother, the earth. Naha San, our earth mother, she's the creator of all of us. She's the creator of everything around us in this room. You can't look at anything in here without knowing it's coming from our mother. Even if it's those walls behind us, this lectern, the floor, the carpet, the rug, every single thing in here, our clothes, comes from her. And so we have to protect her so the next 7 generations can do that. And so, whenever we think about, what can I do? I'm just one person. You can do that advocacy. You can advocate for educators. You can advocate for the environment. You can do what you do, like the composting that y'all are doing in this building is another thing that you can do. There are steps that you can take every day that all make a big part. So it's not just, oh, I have to be on the front lines as a water defender or earth defender. Yeah, that's great. Do that, please. Put your bodies on the line. But also do your part day to day. Tell your teacher, thank you so much. I really see what you're doing. Giving them that encouragement and that support, that goes a long way. And another thing you can do, if you have stuff that you're like, you know what? A classroom could probably use this stuff. Please make a donation appointment at the Welman Project and bring it. We'd love to redistribute it to educators. So there's all kinds of different steps that you can take to support your community.
Absolutely. In conclusion, I know it can be really heavy to think about the future and to think about climate change and to think about public education. But if you're excited about getting involved in a joyful and exciting way, consider volunteering at the Welman Project or supporting the Welman Project. We're excited to do the work that we do every day, and we know it's making a difference, but we can't do it alone. So feel free to take a picture of this or visit our website, scan any of these QR codes. In that makerspace, we also have workshops and classes and camps for the community. So take a workshop with us. Sign up for a summer camp, come by the building, just come by and say hello. It's a super colorful building on West Vickery. We have a bus in front. You can't miss us. Just come in anytime, and I hope to see you guys there. Nice.
So yeah, thank you so much to the Welman Project, and as a previous U.S. history teacher, I can tell you about a lot of times our country doesn't or hasn't lived up to our, highest aspirations, but a free and public education is one of those things. So we'll go ahead and stand as able to join us in our closing hymn. If you thought we were going to be doing a Earth Day service without closing with Blue Boat Home, you probably haven't been here before. So welcome. Number 1064 in the Teal Hymnal.
Ocean.
Our closing words today are Together by the Reverend Peter Rabel. We build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves by fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. And this is as it should be. Together we are more than any one person could be. Together we can build across the generations. Together we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold. Together we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice. We are ever bound in community. May it always be so. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of you. Carry the flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you have yet to meet. And now join me in our congregational closing. Go in peace, seeking justice. Go in peace, committed to equal rights and opportunities for all. Go in the peace that is created when, together, we build communities of true solidarity, deep compassion, and fierce, unrelenting love. Go in peace. May it be so, blessed be, and amen. Thank you all so much for being here.